right now. To Keith, if you could talk about what was your situation before you returned home to Abilene, Texas.
Well, I was, of course, injured in '04, and I went through several months, I should say, or several weeks of surgeries and hospital stays in Baghdad. And if it wasn't, or I should say Germany and Baghdad, and if it wasn't for my mother trying to get everything worked out, I'd probably still be there. I finally made it back to Abilene. And when I made it back to Abilene, unlike John, everything, went fairly well until they just completely stopped paying my benefits one day for no reason. And then after a call to my attorney the same day, they reinstated my benefits until '07, November of '07. In that case, they just completely stopped paying anything. And come to find out now, there's been things, my doctor's visits and everything from back in '04 they haven't paid. There's a lot of things from '04, '05, '06 that they haven't paid, and I haven't been able to get to have any treatment for PTSD or anything else because they haven't paid my doctors. And now that I had my benefits reinstated through the federal court, it's become very difficult to get anything done. It's kind of like what John said. It's just very difficult to get anything approved. They don't return your calls. They don't. When the doctor calls to get something approved, then it might be weeks before, if they ever return the doctor's phone call. So they've gotten to a point now they just don't approve things, and they're given no reason, why they're not approving it. Or in one particular case, I called the adjuster personally and asked them, why they weren't paying, and basically, and it was on a sleep study for my PTSD, and although they were ordered to pay that by the federal judge, I was told that it was supposed to be a split night sleep study, so there's supposed to be two nights of it. When they wanted to do the second sleep study, they just refused to pay, and I contacted the adjuster and asked her why they had denied that claim, and she said because my issues were personal.
Kevin Smith-Idle, we're going to come back to this conversation. We're also joined by John Woodson. Both are KBR military contractors who went to fight a war in Iraq and came home to fight a war with the bailed-out insurance giant AIG. We're also joined by the person who exposed this whole story, T. Christian Miller, working with ABC News and ProPublica website to expose this story. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. We're going to go to break, then come back. Stay with us. We're on the road in Lawton, Oklahoma, as we continue our Community Voices Community Media Tour. I'm Amy Goodman. The bailed-out insurance giant AIG has come under intense criticism for handing out hundreds of millions of dollars in bonuses to top executives and billions in payments to other financial firms, all while receiving taxpayer aid. But new disclosures on its handling of insurance claims add a fresh angle to the ongoing scrutiny of AIG. According to the investigative website ProPublica, AIG and other top insurance companies have routinely denied medical benefits to civilian contractors wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan. Many workers have returned home to face long, grinding battles for basic medical care, artificial limbs, and psychological counseling. More than 1,400 contractors have been killed, another 31,000 wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan. AIG has been the leading profiteer from providing their medical insurance. Earlier this month, former KBR worker John Woodson of Poto, Oklahoma, spoke out about AIG in an interview with ABC News. In October 2004, Woodson lost his left leg and sight in his left eye after his convoy was ambushed in Iraq. He returned home to have most of his medical claims challenged by his insurer, AIG.
I ran over a IED and was blown out of the truck over 100 foot away from where I was. I lost my left leg. Both my knees are damaged. The pelvis was broken, and I've lost my eyesight. My left eye is permanently damaged, as well as my right, 3/4 of it. I'm not able to work. I cannot see. I can't sit for a very long time. I can't stand for the same time limit. There's irritation somewhere in my body. You constantly are worried about who is going to pay these bills, who is going to take care of me, because you can't rely on AIG to come through for you. I don't understand how a company of their size and their magnitude, and with government bailouts and money and support, I don't understand them not taking care of the individuals that were injured. It makes me wonder, the people that still believe in AIG, you know, what they're going to go through, what's going to happen to them if they have a problem. The men that are still in Iraq and over in Afghanistan, the ladies, what's going to happen to them, knowing what I've struggled through for 5 years now.
John Woodson speaking to ABC News. Well, John Woodson joins us now on the phone from Poto, Oklahoma. We're also joined by T. Christian Miller, a reporter for ProPublica investigative news website. He wrote the news series Forgotten Warriors about neglected civilian contractors. The website is ProPublica.org. He's also author of the book Blood Money, Wasted Billions, Lost Lives, and Corporate Greed in Iraq. He's joining us from Washington, D.C. And joining us on the phone as well is Kevin Smith-Idle, a former contractor for KBR. His left leg was shattered in an April 2004 attack in Iraq. He's also faced a protracted legal battle with AIG over his medical benefits. Kevin Smith with us from Abilene, Texas. Well, because we are in Oklahoma, let's begin with John Woodson. Talk further about what happened to you in Iraq, your battle there, and then the battle here at home with your insurance company. John.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to everyone. Working in Iraq, driving a truck, I was, blown up by IED. The struggles that were later to come were just unimaginable. I suffered a terrible damage to my body and loss of sight. Coming home, I stayed in a medical-induced coma for well over a month. After waking up, I couldn't believe, I couldn't even understand what had happened, and no one was willing to even talk to me about it. Everyone was very quiet on the subject, and no one wanted to help. And so from then on, it's just been a hard, grinding struggle.
What exactly did AIG say to you here when you came back to Oklahoma?
Well, I lived in Houston, Texas. In the hospital they had sent a representative to see me after I was coherent, and informed me at that point that they would take care of all medical bills, take care of the rest of my life, seeing the damage. They promised that there wouldn't be any hardships, there wouldn't be problems. All I'd have to do would be call in and get approval, and then be able to get what I needed. And that was so far from what's actually happened. It's been a constant grinding struggle, a fight, just to get the smallest amounts of anything, just prescriptions filled.
And explain exactly the extent, John, of your injuries.
Okay. I've lost my left leg below my knee. Pelvis was broken. The right foot was broken. Both knees are shattered inside, messed up. The bladder and lower